What is up, you guys? Hope everybody's morning's going great. It is definitely a chilly one out here to start the day. But as we're going into spring, I guess you could already call this spring, I'm definitely beginning to enjoy this weather. I'm so glad to see that the warm weather is pretty much back here on its way again. This not having the ability to just go out and ride comfortably, it sucks. Seems to be that we can't get away from this lovely sun in our eyes. Doesn't matter which way that I'm trying to go to work. I'm about to have to start packing me some sunglasses for this bad boy. Yesterday, I went to go grab me some lunch on a lunch break, and I blipped the throttle coming out the parking lot, and I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised by the fact that the back tire just broke loose on me. And that was pretty cool. This bike definitely feels like it could just be a tire eater for sure. And honestly, I think that right there is going to be pretty fun, because in the future, I've been doing some research, right? In the future, I plan on doing like a cam on this bike. I think that's as far as I'll try to push it, is getting a cam and obviously like a full stage 1 and all that stuff, which I believe it'd just be essentially taking it up to a stage 2. And from what I've seen, you can get some pretty decent numbers, I guess, out of some of them cams. A lot of people were saying that the 475 cam's a really good way to go. But I've never, had a cam put in a bike or anything like that, so I really don't know. If any of y'all out there kind of have some ideas, let me know. I'm interested to hear, like, what kind of cam would y'all like to throw in a bike like this? Not having a windshield is completely different again, but it's not too bad. I noticed that if you're hovering around that 60 miles an hour mark, like where we're sitting at right now, it's not too bad. But the moment you kind of press on up, you feel like a daggum parachute on this bike. I'm sure whenever I get myself a fairing for the front of this, I'll be like, oh, thank God. But the bike definitely does pick up and go. One thing I definitely will be investing in on this bike is those like bush guards, essentially, that go and cover your clutch lever and your brake levers and stuff, so that the wind keeps off your hands. With this chilly weather being here, it kind of blows a little bit, because even with these leather gloves on, you're still going to get a cold hand just because you have all that wind hitting them up there, and it makes it a little difficult to use your fingies after you've been riding for a little while. So that's one thing I plan on getting for it. I plan on getting the windshield. I already have a pretty sweet hookup on a pair of pipes that I'm gonna have put on here. I think I'm looking gonna be going with the Vance & Hines big radius exhaust. And then for as far as the air cleaner, I'm not exactly sure what air cleaner I want to run yet. Again, if y'all have any suggestions, I'm open to hear them. In fact, it'd be kind of cool, because if my viewer base could like some suggest some parts that I definitely like, man, I'd love to get them put on here, just because. Oh no, it's the sun again. She is a savior, but also a pain in my fucking ass sometimes. But there is so much you could do with these bikes. I'm just really excited about that. As soon as we get past this 1K, I already have a pair of pipes, essentially. And once we get those on here, we'll be able to get that sound out of this, and we'll have that nice rumble you can hear. The only downside to riding in the morning is it's chilly. But I'm kind of curious, what do you guys prefer? Y'all like riding more towards the end of the day? Are y'all more of a mid-time rider, or does the time of the day not really matter, or do you like getting out there at nighttime? I'm kind of curious to see what it is that other people out there like riding, because I found myself being like one of the people. I like to ride from, I like to preferably either like start in the morning or about midway through the day. I have particularly avoided nighttime riding. Not necessarily like I'm not going to go out if it's nighttime, but if there's no need for it, then I'm definitely not going to. Around where I live, I've experienced a good amount of drunk fucking drivers, and while I have got lucky and not experienced one on the motorcycle yet, which is preferred, I have dealt with them in car. And when you have a car that just decides that it's going to be driving on the wrong side of the darn road over a bridge where it's only a 2-lane and they can't even get back onto the other side of the road, you're like, oh shit. And you know, I just really won't want to deal with that stuff on motorcycles. So as a rule of thumb, I've always just kind of told myself, after 11-12 o'clock, you probably shouldn't be out on your bike. There's a lot of people out there doing dumb stuff anyways at those times. But thanks for joining me, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the content. I'm gonna keep them coming to you.